All right, let's go ahead and talk about your assignment. Your assignment is you are to deliver a 3 to 5 minute informative speech based on an international current event. Now, let's go ahead and break this down. First off, your speech is to be informative, which means your goal is to inform us, to educate us, to inform and or educate us about something we may not have known before. That's the goal of an informative speech. Which means if there's one thing I don't want in this speech is your opinion. Now, in a couple of weeks from now, we have a persuasive speech assignment. That's when your goal is to try to influence us, try to get us to agree with you on something. That's your persuasive speech. Save your persuasion for that assignment. For this assignment, you're simply just here to inform and or educate. All right. Current events, something that goes on in the year 2021, or at least in the last calendar year. International. What that means is your topic can absolutely positively have absolutely nothing to do with the good old US of A. See, the United Nations recognizes approximately 194 sovereign nations on this earth. Take away one, and that leaves 193. Lots of going on out there. You just have to go out and find it. Now, what you can do, which you don't have to stick to like hard news items that have happened over the last year. You can if you want, but that's up to you. You don't have to. But what I like about this assignment is taking the little twist. Is I allow you to go ahead and, if you want to, talk about an annual festival or event that happens in one of these countries. There's a lot of different things going on all around the world. Like, for example, it's the springtime. And I've had some great speeches, especially from students who talk about this from Eastern Europe, where they have these great festivals welcoming the springtime. I know that I think one I had like a year ago was from Albania. I'm not sure. That they do some kind of big springtime festival or celebration. Welcoming the spring. Or, for example, one of my favorite all-time speeches happened, this is in the summer of 2005. I had a young lady who was the vice president of the Latin American Student Association, and she opened my eyes to something I had never heard of. Is she talked about the Festival of Flowers in Medellin that happens every year. And I love the way she began her speech. She's like, I'm sure as Americans, when you hear the words Medellin, Colombia, two things come to mind: cocaine and Pablo Escobar. Well, guess what? Medellin's known for so much more. And then she went in and talked about the Festival of Flowers, which was a dynamite speech. Excellent speech. Still one of those 16 years later. I have to make sure I don't count very well. 16 years later, I still remember vividly. All right. So these are the kind of things that you want to do, especially if, for example, and you don't have to be native born to that country to talk about a celebration or festival. I mean, plenty of young people love talking about EDC. Okay, and hopefully EDC is going to come back big and strong this year. I don't know. I already know, for example, that I've had great speeches about Oktoberfest, and I think Oktoberfest is already canceled for this late September. I'm not sure. But if you look at the sample outlines, and one of the things I've sent you is I've sent you the outline, a full content outline you are going to be required to have. And you'll send that to me with the video of your speech next week, and we'll talk more about that later on this week. But when you put together a full content outline, as you can see, I've included 3. One is Ashley's, one is Cecilia's, and one is Morel's. But I want to point a particular attention to Cecilia's. Now, Cecilia was about 28 years old when I had her in class in 2005. She's from Poland, and she had just finished the American language program. Com-100 was her first ever mainstream class, and this was going to be her first formal speech in English. So she was a little nervous, but I reminded her about the assignment, and she actually grew up, if you look at the outline, in Zakopane, Poland, and she talked about this folk music festival that happens every year, and she delivered an excellent speech. Okay? But as you can see also, more recently with Morel's speech, she's from the spring 2020. She delivered her speech in class right before COVID, and she did a dynamite job. And the reason why I include these is to give you an idea of what your classmates... See, I could talk forever, blah, 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 about what type of topics or how you organize and blah, blah, blah. How about I let you see what students have done? People just like you. People who are sitting just in the same place as you were just maybe a couple years ago, and look at the jobs that they did to give you some guidance of where you want to go. All right, so now here's what I need from you by 8 o'clock tonight. This is one of your 15-point assignments. Now, this is all I need from you. I don't need anything else from you but this. What I need from you is a sentence. As you can see from the 2-page sheet explaining about this assignment, at the top of the first page, I talk about your specific purpose statement. Okay? Now, there are things in the book, they talk about thesis. I've never been a big fan of the thesis statement, but specific purpose statement is what I like. And as you can see, your specific purpose statement needs to be phrased one of two ways. After listening to my speech, my audience will know, or after listening to my speech, my audience will understand, and then you explain to me not only your topic choice, but the goal that you look to accomplish in the speech. And of course, to give you some great guidance, look at the 3 sample outlines I provided for you. All 3 of them have excellent specific purpose statements. All right? So I need that from you by 8 o'clock tonight. And then tomorrow, we'll talk more about putting the speech together and what kind of techniques and ideas that you can use in helping to put together your speech. All right? So get those specific purpose statements into me, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.